waiting. So it's all good. I'm tired today. I went to the gym a little bit ago, and that was fun. But now I'm highly ready for bed. Highly, very ready for bed. But it's art night, so I want to make some art. I last Monday, where did I put it? I was working on this bonsai tree thing. Don't know where I filed my work in progress. Here, perhaps. Or I had to put it somewhere so the cat would not destroy it. But I think I messed up and hid it from myself as well as from the cat. What did I do with that damn painting, eh? Man, I did so much since last Monday that I'm surprised I still have my head on. Honestly. Anyway, I'm not going to start with that painting. I'm going to start with some shames me to say it, Formula One fan art. Because here's the thing. My team won the championship this year for the first time in like 26 years. So I'm like really excited about that. Stupidly excited about that. Like, these people don't know me. They don't give a shit about me, but I buy their merch. You know? I watch them. I follow them. I can't help it. I love McLaren. I've always loved them. Even it's a family name, so I'm like, these are my cousins, right? They're not, probably. Who cares? Anyway, so I want to do some fan art for that. But like, what did I do with that canvas from last Monday? Like, how do I lose an entire canvas? I wonder if I put it with the rest of like the pieces that I'm never gonna finish ever. Because this week I have updated my website and I put a whole bunch of things that I'd finished, like paintings that I've completed. I put it all up on my website, and which meant I got everything out and was like a bomb went off in here. And then when I probably put it away where it belongs. So let me look there. Let me look in my unfinished art closet. Okay, well, it's not in the initial stack. And I don't want to get everything out again and like rifle through it. Riffle? Rifle? Riffle. Look through it and try to find this painting. Where would I... This is so pathetic. This is pathetic. But it means that maybe I start something new. Okay, after I do this thing. No. Why didn't I put it here with the rest of my stuff? Well, that's a pisser. I can say with confidence that that's a pisser. Probably should have located the project that I was going to work on before I sat down. But I'm kind of a shitbag and I didn't do that. So now, if anyone's watching, you're watching me frantically look around my room for something that exists. I'm a mess, so that's fun. It must be in the box. But in order to get to the box, I have to move other stuff. And then move the box. Then open the box. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm just gonna do it. Here in the background, the cacophony. All finished paintings. That fucking canvas. Okay, well, it's gone. I must have thrown it out. I don't know. I did find this though. A reverse mermaid that I painted and for some reason printed. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with this reverse mermaid. Maybe let's throw some glitter on it tonight. But like, what did I do with that fucking tree? You hear? Ah! Here, underneath the stuff. Found it. I really need to like get a brain. I need a fucking brain that works. I 100% should be on drugs. 100% need to be on drugs. But I'm terrified of that. So this is just how I'm gonna have to live forever in a fucking chaos mess. Anyway, I want to play with ink. I want to play with ink tonight. I've been doing what I've been doing watercolor markers, which has been great fun. But I want like I'm working on this piece right here that has just you can't tell because I haven't fixed my settings for my camera. Let me fix those really quick so you can maybe see some of what I'm talking about. Where did I put that? Activity? Yes. Let me fix these settings for this camera. So you're not gonna be able to see because the line art is done, but it's also erased and ready to have ink thrown on it. But it's this whole space here is gonna be basically like a watercolor wash, an ink wash. Which means that I need to cover a big area, and I want to do that easily, I guess. So I'm thinking that the markers would be a more difficult way to do that. So I want to do some inks tonight, which means actually I need to get. I guess I have enough water, probably. I was thinking I might need to get some water, but I think we're good on the water front here. So I have some India inks that I'm gonna try mixing with water. I could have Googled this, probably. Probably could have Googled, like, can you mix India inks with water? But I don't want the answer. I think I want the experience. So these lines are still quite dark. I don't love it, but I did transfer it after tracing, right? So if I fuck this one up, I can just try again. All right, first thing, put this stuff away so that I don't completely wreck it with the work in progress is in here. See if I remember that 20 minutes from now. I'm not gonna remember that 20 minutes from now. Myself false hope on that. Right, gonna tape the edges before I do anything. Because I don't want a white border, but I do want a white border. What I want is a black border. So I'm thinking that I'll color the piece that's going to be colored. And then maybe I'll also paint the border black. Make it just extra complicated and weird. All right. Now that it's taped, now is when I pray that when it's time to remove the tape, it doesn't take off half the fucking paper with it. But it's taped. All right, I'm gonna mix some ink. I'm going for orange and blue, maybe? Which could be a disaster, honestly, because they may not mix very well. But like I said, I'm here for the experience on this one. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just seeing what happens. I'm throwing stuff at a wall at the moment and seeing what sticks. And I think it'll stick. I think it'll stick pretty well. So I'm going to be using Bombay India ink, water, and then I've also got a Aquafine watercolor ink. So I'm playing with both of these. The blue is a watercolor ink. So I feel like this is gonna do what I want it to do. But India ink, I've worked with India ink before, but I haven't really explored it. So this will be an exploration. First things first, I've got these little pots. I'm gonna pretend I'm a tattoo artist. Fill up some pots with some color and water. So let's hide this away so I don't absolutely destroy it in the process of mixing colors here. So I'm I'm going to just use a little dropper. And I don't even know how many parts ink, how many parts water I need to do. I have no idea. We're playing it by ear here. Little zhuzh first. I'd love for you to tell me, those that are watching, what kind of art projects you might be working on right now. 3 drops of this, maybe? We'll start there. This is so top heavy. I'm worried I'm gonna spill my ink everywhere. So that was 3 drops of color of ink. And like a full pipette of water. I feel like that's gonna be good. There's some weight to it now, so it's maybe not gonna fall over. I feel like that's gonna give it a really light wash and maybe not as bright as I would like for it to be. But like I said, we're just throwing stuff at a wall tonight, seeing what sticks. Right, that was 3 drops of orange. I'll do 3 drops of the blue. But that's not going to be enough blue. Well, I don't know. Those are pretty saturated colors. They might be all right. Putting those bad boys back down. And do I use a water brush? Or, you know what I'm gonna do, actually? You know, the tattoo artists will like put down Vaseline and then stick the little palette cups in Vaseline. That's a really smart idea, but I'm gonna use a paper towel and prayer. Just hope I don't knock them over. If I do knock them over, they'll get soaked up, right? All right, so the question is water brush or like just normal paintbrush. I feel like water brush is a fun idea because then it will like add more water, but maybe I don't need more water. Maybe I go normal brush. But my normal brush is much smaller, so it's gonna take more to cover an area. But actually, I'm gonna mix one more because I have a like pearlescent black that I think would be possibly fun. Oh, I'm gonna paint the border in the pearlescent black for the border. So JK there. Yeah, iridescent black black sparkle. That's what I'll do the border. But that's a problem for future wreaths. All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna start with the orange, with the lighter color. And just see how it goes on. Remove the cat hair first. Ooh, water in India ink. Interesting. Oh, hi, Fen. Are you gonna do what I think you're gonna do? Hi. Oh. This is such a bad idea, Fen. No! Put it here. Look at that, you painted. Don't drink it. Oh, Lord. I need a bigger brush. I have a larger watercolor brush. And Also, I should wet the paper first. If I'm gonna do like a big area like this, maybe I should wet the paper. And that was beautiful. Put your little handprint on there. So definitely gonna need multiple layers. I want this wash to be pretty chaotic, but I don't know that I want a whole lot of like visible brush stroke in it. So definitely gonna need a lot of layers to basically hide the fact that I'm a trash artist. Don't know what I'm doing. I think subsequent layers also are gonna have to be less water, more ink. This is a bad idea. I'm gonna spill this down the front of me for sure. But Yolt. The kids used to say YOLO. Don't say that anymore, do they? Like YOLO, Ohio, or some shit like that. Pretty YOLO. Yols. You only live skibbity. That's for sure what the kids are saying. Without a doubt. And I guess since I'm gonna color the foreground in black, I don't need to spend as much time like on the edges. Make those a little messy. Probably shouldn't though. Probably should, you know, paint with attention to detail and like, I don't know, care. Should probably paint with care. I don't know. Oh man, this blue is gonna have a tough job compensating for this orange. All of the sloppiness in the orange. I really liked the eyedropper thing though. I'm gonna add some water. Yeah, eyedropper. Color, just water. See what happens. Maybe with soaking up some of the water as well. See what happens when you do that. Nothing. Okay, so this is what they mean when they say India ink waterproof. There's no erasing the orange, which is fine. But I do need, I'm gonna add some more because it's not super saturated. It's almost a sepia, and I want it to be fucking orange. So put in 6 drops of orange. Chaos. Chaos. Some care in some of these areas. I'm thinking it's gonna be like bright orange here in the corner, and then up here in this corner, it's gonna be. I'm gonna put the blue in there, as though it's kind of a backlit scene from this bottom corner. Man, using a brush is a thing I need to get much better at. I'm like really imprecise with a brush, but is that a problem? Or is the brush supposed to just kind of give the hint? You know, like it's not, there aren't lines that have been photographed. They're lines that I've drawn and then painted with a brush. So is it a bad thing that they're a little sloppy? Again, if you're watching, let me know what you're working on. What's your current art project? And are you working on it right now? Or are you just hanging? I'd love to hear about what's keeping you creative at the moment. It doesn't have to be painting. Like, are you learning a dance right now? Are you writing a book? Writing an essay? Are you reading a book? What's keeping you a creative human being? Are you writing? Are you making a spreadsheet? That is some wild creativity that I can't figure out. Freaking spreadsheets. How people can just do that is wild to me. I go more orange now. Actually, put some random spots of brighter orange. Chaos. Just absolute chaos. And I'm gonna go even brighter orange in this bottom corner. And brighter orange. So what was that? Six little dubers in that last one. 10. 16. How about that? All right, so this is at this point like 16 drops of ink, and like it started as 3 drops of water. I don't think there's that much water anymore. I'm just gonna bring this up until I run out. This is an interesting medium to work with. I don't know if I like it better than watercolor. Don't know if I can say that because it's unforgiving. Watercolor, you can kind of erase it if you just add water and then kind of uh, smudge it around or soak it up. But this is not that way. See how it looks once it's all layered as well. Like sometimes I like the look of the water blooms in a watercolor. Sometimes I despise it. And but like you can, like I said, it's forgiving a little bit. You can go back and do other stuff on top of the blooms and make them look less uh you know, gloomy. I don't know if India inks work that way. Just don't know anything about this medium. But that's fun. I have notifications. I don't want notifications. Okay. One more round of this orange. Then I'm gonna try the blue. I'm excited to try the blue. But again, the blue is watercolor, so it's gonna be a whole different creature here. But also, because this orange isn't watercolor, when I add the blue to it, hopefully it doesn't get all muddy. Hopefully it can just be kind of a weird orange base, paper base. The hope, goal. And like, if this is your medium, please, talk to me. I'd love your, as much as I want to just enjoy the process of this, I'd love to hear your experience with it. Forgot I had tea. It's now lukewarm and overly tea. But it's a mint tea, so it being overly tea is delicious. And I did that on purpose. I was like, I'm going to make a mint tea because I know I'm going to forget about this tea. But here's the idea. Generally, brighter orange in this corner, and then we're going darker blue in this corner, kind of fading into the orange. We'll see if it works. It might not work. This might be an exercise in futility. I don't know. I'm gonna wait a minute though for this to just air dry a little bit before I start adding the blue in. I think also I do need to change my water. Oh. I'm gonna close this because as soon as I get up, Fenn's gonna come in here and start tap dancing on everything. I'm gonna get me some new water. Cause this, I don't want to mix this with my blue. Gross. It looks delicious, actually. It looks like a really weak tang. Cat is still in here, sleeping in the dog bed instead of her usual spot. I'll be right back. I was also thinking about, like, I could use a water cup, you know, like a normal person. But then I would drink out of it. So it's best to not use a water cup, and I'll just stick to my little water thingy. Water thingy. Right. For damp, we're not too bad. Actually, I want more orange. I do want more orange on here, but I'm gonna put more orange. I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna use the bigger brush. Why do I have just the world's smallest watercolor brushes? If I say that watercolor is one of my favorite media, and I have 2 watercolor brushes, I think I could use this acrylic brush. Think that would work? I think more brushes in here. I want a thick, like, moppy brush. Enter bag o' brushes. I need some music. We're done. All right. What do I get? What do I got in my bag of brushes? Here's some ASMR for you. Beautiful, right? Too big. Unnecessary. I think I have this for sidewalk chalk art, which I did once. Why is this in there? This is a good brush. Why do I have it just in this brush bag? I'm leaning toward the makeup brush, honestly. That might work. Don't know why I put that on my face. It's totally had paint on it. I just have a lot of like craft brushes. Probably should invest in some nice brushes at some point. I'm gonna try a makeup brush. I think the makeup brush is my best bet here. Everything else is like too like thick, hard, bristly. And don't look at me. Don't look at me like that. Go to your spot here. What a cute baby. Not that one. Oh, this is gonna be wild. I don't even know how to wet it, to be honest. How to put color on it. Because if I had a if I had a water cup like a real artist, this wouldn't be a challenge if I used a water cup like a real person. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Here we go. Ah! Oh my god. Oh, it's beautiful. That was fun. That was way fun. Makeup brush for the win. Smooth it all out here. It's very wet. Oh, it's beautiful. This is also when I get confused about like what hand I'm supposed to use. Oh, she's a beaut. I should have these inks. Like I should have the colors over here. If I'm applying the color with the right hand, I should have it over on the right side. Just why? Why am I like that? I love the makeup brush for this. I think the blush brush. Highly satisfying. I recommend it. If you're just gonna screw around and play with paints and colors, try everything, you know? Oh, and look at the mess that I'm making on the table. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. I've recently, like, I'm trying to come to terms with the fact that, like, I'm not a successful artist, you know? Like, because comparison is the thief of joy, and I'm comparing myself all the time to. I mean, I'm not going to name drop here, but I have a lot of friends who are highly successful artists. I should have them on for art night sometime, actually. Oh, I should have them on for art night. Oh, I love that idea. But I have a lot of friends who are really successful artists who, like, it's their whole living. It's what they do 8 hours a day, every day. You know, they're really making it happen. They're selling art. They're winning prizes. I'm not I'm not doing that. Like, and part of it's because I'm not trying hard enough and I'm not trying in the right ways. But then, like, I feel like a larger part is that I'm not at that level. You know, like, my art is fun. It's colorful. It's I enjoy it. People enjoy it, but like they don't buy it and hang it in their house. You know, it's not like it's I mean, I'm doing Formula 1 fan art right now. It's like it's not oil paintings of knights and dragons and stuff. So, Ben, come back. Scared the cat away with my vigorous mixing of paint. So, I'm having to like try to figure out how do I measure success? And one of my metrics for measuring success is how big of a mess did I make? That's that's what I'm looking at now. Like, it's not how much money did I make, uh, how many pieces did I sell. It's how much paint is on my hands at the end of the session. To me, the more the more clothes I ruin, the more successful I am as an artist. I at this point, like, listen, I need to be a full-time artist and writer because I'm just not good enough at anything else. I'm passable at this, but I'm just not good enough at other jobs to make those my whole life. So I need to make this happen. But at the same time, I'm at this point just trying to be like, well, you know, I made a mess today, so that's good enough. Didn't make $1, but I made a mess. And I'm ready to be that person who, like, doesn't have nice clothes because just everything is covered in paint all the time. That's I'm ready to be an eccentric. A, an impoverished eccentric. I'm exchanging starving artist for impoverished eccentric. All right, I'm gonna let this dry for a minute. What do I do while it dries? I feel like I want to. Should I look at some time guesser while that does its thing over there? Do some time guesser. Should I share my time guesser, perhaps? How's that? Is this accurate? Come on, browser. Is this what we're looking at? Yeah. It didn't work. Daily. What are we after? All right. Here we go. While you're drawing, I'm time guessing. It is a cheese parade. What is this? 50s? Got my mouse pad covered up. I'm not able to mouse. 60s? Scandinavia. Where? Finland. We're in Finland. That's the Finnish flag, right? I would love to go to Finland. 1962, do we stay there? Hard to tell. Looking at the clothing. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 62. Here we go. 70. I knew I should have said 70s. Oh, look at that. 64 meters. Cheese breathing dragon. Hell yeah. Well, that was a complete accident. Nice. All right, this is backwards. Is that German? What is this guy? I love this guy. That's my friend Mike. I don't know something about NATO. '71. We go in Germany. Am I guessing Germany? I mean, I don't know. I saw Hamburg up here. I'm gonna go with Hamburg. Probably not correct at all. There we go. 230 miles away. I knew it wasn't Berlin, though. I knew they were not going to put it in Berlin. 81. Yikes. That was very wrong. Why don't I know this flag? What flag is this? Shit. My vexillology. I know this flag. As soon as it tells me, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, of course. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, shit. I'm just gonna put it in Saudi. In the middle of Saudi. And that'll be, like, close enough. And this is... 2000... We got the 3 cameras on the iPhone or whatever. 2021. How do I feel like it's Jordan somewhere? Syria. Ugh. Is that the Syrian flag? I guess it. Well, see. What flag are they looking at here? That's 3 stars. I feel like I know with the 2 stars. So what's this one? Syrian Republic. Interesting. All right, this is a question for later. Let's go on here. Cambois. Cambios. Viva la libertad. Viva Francia. Bienvenido Charles de Gaulle, General de la Libertad. Semana del Disco. 1964, so we're at least in 1964. And I mean, we're in Spain, right? This is all Spanish. Even though Charles de Gaulle is not, right? Random place in Madrid. Here we go. Buenos Aires. Really bad. But the year was good. I got the year. All right. To avoid mistakes, please count your change before leaving the operator. Want a better job? Continuous openings available now. Let's see. Colorado buildings. 14th and something northwest. In wartime, it will help if you move to the rear in a streetcar bus. Why will that help? In Washington? In Washington? Which war is this? I'm hesitant to say the 40s. That's not going to be correct at all. But I'm going to do it. Here we go. 40s. Oh, actually, that was a really good guess. Final score. Show me what I got. 36-5. Not great. This one really fucked me. Buenos Aires. Whatevs. Alright. This is probably dry now. So, it's doing alright. Blue? Shall we fuck with some blue? How am I gonna... It's dry. It's whatever. Let's fuck with some blue. See what happens with some blue. This was what? 3 drops of water and 3 drops of ink. Ooh. Ooh, I mean, it's a little muddy, but it could be worse. Oh, we're definitely making a mess. Ooh, look at her. She's a beaut. She's a beaut. Where's my water at? So this one isn't India ink. It's watercolor ink. So it'll be a little different. Look at that. I love this. I love the mess. It's a little muddy, but it's also fine. I think that once I really darken up that blue corner, it's gonna look quite interesting. But I really need to darken up that blue corner a lot. I need to kind of bring all of the blue down, really. Ben, you've returned. I'm just gonna play with a really wet brush and kind of see what happens. Again, this is ink and water at the moment. On subsequent layers, I'm gonna try just ink. See what happens there. It's doing some interesting stuff, but it's definitely doing some interesting stuff. I don't really know why I wanted to work in ink tonight. Other than just seems like the next step with what I've been doing. You know, if I'm gonna paint these guys black, I think it's okay if I color outside the lines a bit. I'm gonna worry less about staying in the lines right now. Yeah, screw the lines. Screw the lines. Oh, that's an interesting effect. Now that's interesting. I think we're doing some interesting stuff here. Especially once, like, if you think about the potential of it, where we can put glitter all over it, oh, that's gonna be lovely. I'm gonna do something wild here. And I'm just gonna drop this directly onto the page. See how that goes. I'm into it. Really into it. Interesting. Very interesting. Interesting. Something's happening. Something's happening here. What's happening? I don't know. We're playing. We're playing. Interesting. All right. Think. Get rid of some of the brush strokes. So the makeup brush is interesting, but it does leave a lot of brush strokes. Which is fine. Which is not what I'm going for at the Mo. I wonder if I add more orange on top of it, what will ensue? I would try it, but it desperately needs to dry. Desperately needs to dry. I also kind of want to add some black in that corner as well. Maybe I'll do it just to see what happens. One teeny tiny drop. Really darken that corner. And then I'm gonna have to probably work on my bonsai tree painting. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, it really is really shiny. But it's India ink again, so I think there's gonna be any forgiveness with it. Gotta have a light touch. All right, we're somewhere. I need new water again. I need to clean up my area a little bit before I continue working on the bonsai tree. So, let me put all this stuff away. Let me clean. I'm not going to use this for that, but I'm going to clean it off now anyway. I will change my water because that's disgusting. This is great. Love this. Quite the mess. Gonna have blue fingers tomorrow at work. And see, that's what I want. I want to have blue fingers at work that people go, oh, yeah. Yeah, Reese is weird. They're a painter. Hear me. In the process of cleaning this brush, I may have destroyed its usefulness for the moment, but it's fine. Actually, this one's fine. This one was really quite bad. So I'm gonna use some detergent. Brush cleaner. About need more brush cleaner. That's a good sign. This is a good sign. This is how I measure success. This means I've dirtied up enough brushes that I've used this entire bottle of brush cleaner. Ugh, look at that. Already milky. God, it's so satisfying. I love that I decided to put my disused makeup brushes into my art brush section. Alright, I'm just gonna let that bad boy soak. Just right here, I suppose. This needed more orange. It did need more orange, but let's see what happens. I put some more orange on here. Ugh, so brown. Definitely needed more orange, but it is what it is. We're playing. Like I said, this is the experience on this piece. I'm playing. Playing is fun. This next one, I ain't playing. Should have washed my hands. Really. Should have washed my hands before I sat down for this particular one. Ah, look at this beautiful mess. Love it. All right. Bonsai tree. Where did it go? It was in here. It is. I was trying to keep my markers that I was using out as like a palette, but I ended up putting them away, I think. So I haven't a clue what the palette was gonna be for this. I didn't put them away. Maybe I didn't put them away. Maybe I was a chaos goblin appropriately. Yeah, we were doing all the greens, except this one. Not a fan. Chuck. But the branches. Branches. What color did I use for those? All of the browns and then some red browns. And then I used some pinks. Did I use this purple hyacinth? I might have used some purple. And then for the background, I was doing gray. I have a gray green that I think would go really well there. Ooh, purple gray would go nice too. Pine green, we want that. We want that. We want black. Or dark, I'm not sure. Oh, Blacob. What's up? The arting is, man, it's an experience right now. How did you find me? The arting is an experience right now. I'm just, oh no. I've been just playing around. I was playing with inks that I don't really know what I'm doing. So I played with some washes on inks, but now I'm drying and it's, oh, look at it. It's warping. It's great. That's another measure of success, is how fucked up can I make the canvas or paper. Yeah, so the arting is it's a learning experience tonight. I was using watercolor ink and India ink, two things that I've not really used before. So fun is how it was going. But now it's business. Now I'm on to the actual work in progress. What do you mean? How did I find you? LMAO. I posted about it on Instagram, a platform where mutuals. Yeah, but I didn't post a link to it. You had to go to YouTube, type my name in, and find. Actually, is my link on Instagram? Are you working on anything creative right now? If you are, you better tell me about it. That's the whole point of this, bitch. What did I do with my water? Found my water. All right. I'm just like not satisfied right now with the depth on these branches, trunks, if you will. So I'm thinking dark sepia, maybe. I don't want to go black yet. I think black is gonna ruin it. So I'm skipping black for now. I think I'm gonna put some dark sepia in here. And some more burnt sienna on the edges, the shadows, and then add some more. I use hyacinth. I wonder how hyacinth is gonna look for a highlight. I think I used pale pink for highlight. Meh. Later. Dude. I dare you. So, I dare you. I dare you. I'll buy your art skills never surpass early middle school level. Well, neither do mine, but here we are. Here's the thing though. I'll buy your next McDonald's if you get out a paper and a pen right now and you draw something with me. We'll buy your next McDonald's for that. I know, that's a lot of money. McDonald's. But I'll do it. Alright. I don't need the big brush. I need the small brush, I think. I'm gonna go bold. I'm just gonna start with this dark brown. What is this one? Dark sepia. Ooh, back to the bonsai. Yes. Very high stakes. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'll buy you a steak. I'll buy you a McDonald's steak if you like fucking notebook and number 2 pencil, pen, your own blood, whatever, man. Whatever you got. I dare you to paint something or draw something right now. Yeah, so I'm back to the bonsai. I started with just playing around with some India ink and some watercolor ink. Have no idea what I'm doing. But it's traced and transferred, so I don't care if I mess it up. And now back to the bonsai. Because I really liked this idea of these little fey creatures dancing around in this bonsai tree. So I figure I should finish it. I just generally kind of love the idea of spirits and fae and whatever just in places where they kind of shouldn't be. Like, I like to think about like leprechauns that came over in the famine, right? The great wave of Irish immigrants, and these leprechauns hopped on a boat and came over, and they're like, "Oh shit, I guess we're American now." I love to think about that. And these little fairies in the bonsai tree are just, they're like that for me. Like, they belong there because it's, I mean, it's a tree, it's nature. But I mean, how did they get there? How did they find themselves in this bonsai tree? And then also, the curator of the bonsai tree, when they finally spot these little fey creatures living in there, what are they gonna do? What's gonna happen? I just love thinking about silly things like that. I need to hit this background layer a lot bit more. As the painting dried, the background kind of stopped existing entirely. There's kind of no color at all in the background. Can you imagine if the caretaker kicked him out? And like, what would that procedure look like to kick some little fae out of their bonsai home? Like, do you have to do a ritual? Do you just put some antifungal in there? How do you kick a fae out of a bonsai tree? I have so many questions about it. That was an exasperated raspberry of, I have to eventually do the leaves. And like I was saying last week, I don't know how to do leaves at all. Like, I'm so happy with how these trunks are looking. If I ruin the leaves, I'm gonna be just irritated. But I'm not going to. I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna ruin it. It's gonna be fine. Right? Yeah. Like, can you just imagine what actually this is a really good story, actually. Like, I'm pretty sure I've read some Welsh fairy tales about this exact thing. Like, oh, the fae are in your garden. What do you're gonna kick them out? Okay, fine, but all of your horses are gonna die now. You brought that on yourself. All right, I'm gonna put some color on these top branches, I suppose, in preparation for leaves. Yeah, your bread will always land butter side down. That's probably that's the curse of the Fae. What if physics was just the curse of the Fae? What if that's all it was? Man, like somebody, but like imagine the world before physics and someone just like really irritated a fairy, and now apples fall on our heads. And lo, Isaac Newton discovered gravity. And it wasn't because nobody had thought about gravity before, it was because it didn't exist before. The Fae made things fall on us, they made bread always land butter side down. We're fighting to get to space. Why? Because of the Fae. If we hadn't kicked them out of our garden, space would have been like right there. We could already be on Mars 6 centuries ago. Well, we fucked up. Bessie, what are you working on? Anything creative at the moment? Tell me about your projects. If you don't have any projects currently, tell me what you wish you were working on. Final grades! Hell yeah! How did that go? Did you have anybody who's gonna be like begging you for, can you please raise my grade? Or is that something that only happens in high school? Isn't there any extra credit? There's been extra credit all fucking year, and you just didn't do it. It went. Yeah. Yeah. It went. Done. And now what? So you get to enjoy a couple weeks off, hopefully? The answer is in the syllabus. It's very taskmaster. All the information is in the task. It's all written down in the syllabus. Part-time, but the rent bill is full-time. Yeah. Are there a lot of jobs to apply to right now, or is it pretty sparse? That's the fucking worst, man. Is that enough branches before I add leaves? It's probably not. Well, why don't you just work on something small right now? Just draw a little, like, 10-minute sketch. It doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be grand, doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to be anything. Just, like, doodle in the margin of a student's paper. Oh no. I hate that. Looking beyond higher ed. Like, when that's your freaking job, you have to. I hate that for you. I hate that for all of us. I wish we could just do the things that we're good at. I was just saying that earlier in my stream that, like, I don't want to be a full-time artist and writer. I have to be. Like, I'm just not good enough at anything else to make it to, like, keep me alive doing it. Like, my job is great, but am I also miserable? I mean, kind of. Yeah, cuz I'm not good at it. I'm not doing anything that I'm good at. I'm not doing anything that, like, fulfills me. I feel like that's a lot of us. Now you're saying you have to look outside of your chosen special and I say chosen like you chose it. I mean, it probably chose you. Sucks. What kind of jobs are you looking for, though? Yes, do something fun at 9 p.m. I probably don't need to add. What is this? Is this pale pink? I'm gonna see what this looks like. Hyacinth. That's real purple. It is very purple. Good though. It's keeping it cool. I like that it's keeping it cool. Bessie, we should make a movie together. I don't know if you're into film production or if you're just more into film studies. I think it would be really cool to do something together, film-wise. I have a production company that I work with pretty regularly. We do a lot of short films and film festivals, and that could be a lot of fun. Yes! Yes! I love that you're on board. I should add you. Are you on Discord? If you're on Discord, I'll add you to my Discord film company thing. So, if you could, like, what's your on a film set, on a production, what would be like your dream role? I mean, obviously on Discord. I see you on Discord every Friday. Gotta find you. I have too many Discord servers that I'm on. Wow. How do I find you? There you are. Add you. I add you as friend. Then I'll add you to my animatronic skeleton syndicate server. But yeah, if you had a dream role on a film production, what would it be? Oh, no. Why is this cat in the dog bed and not the fun people can watch her sleep bed? Niche and Red. This was the one that I really liked. Something really behind the scenes. Dream role would be costuming or set design, but I'm probably better suited for continuity or something. Listen, I understand. Because I'm very suited to continuity and script supervising. I'm very good at it. But, like, I want to design and I want to act. So I really don't like scripts. I love script supervising, but it's like third on my list of things to do. And as soon as somebody finds out that I'm a boss at script supervising and like assistant directing, basically, I never do anything else ever again. So that's really interesting. Set design. I'm surprised by that. I don't know why I'm surprised by that answer. You want to make it all look pretty and have multiple layers of meaning. Yes. I think that's my favorite part about the design aspect is that you can, like, everything's really an Easter egg. If anybody cared to ask the designer, it would all be like, "Oh shit. Really? Yeah. Like, yeah, this character is in a green sweatshirt because this reason." I love that. Okay. Okay. So you can take that off of my plate cuz more and more I find that I just want to direct and like I'm not like I'm decent enough at acting, but I don't have the subtlety, I think, that is necessary for film. So I've lately on these film projects just been the director and just had an absolute freaking blast doing that. But I'm also like set design and production design and all these other things, which are highly fun, but also take away from the amount of time I get to dedicate to directing the damn thing. So, I mean, actually, we're thinking about getting together. So, we usually get together the animatronic skeleton syndicate. I almost said syndrome. We probably are a syndrome, to be honest. We're a disease. Um, we usually get together in September and do a 72-hour film festival. And for the Frederick, it's for Frederick, Maryland. And we have fun. We do well. But it's like, why are we waiting for this film festival to come around when we could just be doing this for fun? So we're about to pick a weekend, like give ourselves a 3-day weekend and do our own little mini 72-hour. And you should totally do it with us. Listen, I have no self-esteem. Zero. None. No self-esteem. No self-confidence. I'm a piece of shit. But I'm a great director. I can get a performance. I'm going to eat my words later. I think out of anyone. I think I'm good at asking the right questions to people to get them to think in a certain way, to then feel in a certain way, and then to portray in a certain way. I think I have that particular gift. And I also know how to talk to people and communicate with people. I think I was born to be a director and like cursed to want to be an actor. Sucks because there's more acting roles than there are directing roles, but what can you do? Yeah, not afraid to say no to people. That is a big part of the job. Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, that's definitely true. That is definitely true. As far as like the not with actors specifically, I think I can it's a good idea, but how about we think about what if we use that as a springboard and we go here instead. But like the other roles like designers and this kind of thing that you'd be overseeing, I think I kind of approach it the same way. Like, yes and I feel like it's all yes and or no but. It all comes back to improv. Like, it's a good idea. I really like where you're headed with this, but let's pivot. Let's pivot. Leaves. How do I do leaves? All right, I'm looking at this tree here. And what do I see in just the camera? I don't see individual leaves. I see more highlights and shadows. But this is further away than what I'm painting. I've zoomed in pretty drastically. does all come back to improv. I'm always trying to convince people that it that they need to do improv classes, as you hate every part of drawing faces. What do you mean? Whose face are you drawing? I also hate every part of drawing faces. I think the only thing that I haven't mastered any of it. That's absolute bullshit to say that I've mastered any of it. I hate all of it as well. The only thing I'm moderately good at this point in drawing faces is tracing, probably. I'm starting to understand proportion on faces. How the mouth corners go up to like the middle or corner of the eye, and how like the nose goes up to the inner corner of the eye, and how the eye corner is in line with the ear top. I'm starting to figure that out when it comes to drawing faces. But otherwise, drawing faces is fucking hell. It smells clean. It's probably not. Look at this. This water was this was clear 10 minutes ago. This is sick. Yeah, I'm trying to learn noses as well. And it's like, I think I try to draw them and I shouldn't draw them. I think the nose almost needs to just be alluded to, cuz like there's not lines here. There's shadows in the holes, and then like this piece, and then where the light hits the bridge. But like I think that I always try to put lines in the nose, and I should just shade the nose. But I also fucking hate noses and eyes and lips. Good God, lips. I'll never figure those out, especially on the 3/4 view. Awful. Where's my swatches? I need to swatch some of these greens here. See where I'm headed. So I've got like a highlight green and a shadow green. And kind of a yellow green. And then over on this side, it's more of a gray green. Like this earth green for the background, though. One's good. This one's too green. I like them to be a little grayer than this green. Dude, 3/4 is the most difficult freaking one. Who are you drawing? Like this. This pine green? Well, it is a pine tree, I assume. So that makes sense. Pine green. This one's good. Chromium green opaque. These are a good mix together. They have that kind of similar undertone. So I'll use those. Maybe this one, just for some accents. I need like dark green, but not this. This is too cool of a color. I don't want to use cool colors necessarily. So maybe it's this. It's this earth green. But this earth green is the background as well. Earth green and warm gray is what we're going with for the background. So the rest of these at the moment can go back to their You were playing Final Fantasy when I demanded. Hell yeah. I love that for me. For you. What is your Final Fantasy character? God, I need to stretch. Water. I don't know what hand to paint with. God, I just realized I'm gonna have to paint these little fairies. And they're so small and detailed, and I have no idea how I'm gonna do it. Definitely gonna need more layers on this. On this background sitch. But the good news is that I like color. But oh, whoops. Picked up some branch into that background section. Whoopsie. Oops. I'm going crazy now. I like the color. But also, it is a little too dark. A little too green. I wish... I need to stop saying what I wish. Because what I wish doesn't matter. What I wish doesn't exist. I need to just have what I have. More wishing. Would like to figure out how to get a color that is more gray than green. But I think it's all right. Okay. We'll just mix gray on top of it. I'm really just procrastinating from doing the leaves. I don't know how to do. That's the reality of the situation. Ah, so frustrating. Need my ink and makeup brush situation again for this background. Cat hair. Hey Finn, what are you doing down there? Don't you want to come paint? Kitten break. Kitten break. Kitten. You smell like cat litter. Ugh. Yes, it is kitten time. Please enjoy the kitten. Take an animal break. And paintbrush. Marker. Water. actually, you're on to something. Yep. She absolutely does. Now, how do I make it happen? That's the question. What do I have? I have a pommel. I could use a pommel maybe, but it's a little hard. I could use my eraser, which I will ruin, I think, if I do that. The pommel could be a lot of fun, actually. I'm going to try it. No. Ink on the pen isn't thick enough for it. Eraser? Kind of soaks in too well. What I need is a cat foot. I need a cat foot. Just to stamp, you know? Ben totally knows how to draw leaves. It would just be her little handprint everywhere. I mean, this is the same thing I did for the moss at the bottom. But maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll have the right effect. We just don't look too close that it's the same thing as the moss. Is it 9 o'clock yet? Are you doing something fun yet? I need to do fun stuff. But yeah, I'm going to add you to our Discord, our film crew Discord. One of us comes from Maryland, and then I live here in Durham. One of us comes from Fayetteville. So it wouldn't be crazy to have somebody from Atlanta or wherever you end up. Or we could all go somewhere. Yeah, bad fan art. I love it. I've been throughout the stream tonight talking about how to measure success as an artist. And like whether because I don't make my living at this as much as I would like, as much as I need to. Don't make my living as an artist yet. One day, 2026. By 2026, I'm going to be a full-time artist. That's the goal. But like, I don't make money doing this. I lose money on this. This is an expensive hobby. So, and like, you know, I'm not doing great art. I'm doing highly passable, I guess, kind of pop art, really. Like, but I'm not doing the stuff that sells big at conventions or wins awards or anything. You know, I'm not making book covers or magic cards or anything like that. So, how do I measure success as an artist? And one of the ways is by like, how big of a mess can I make? And another way is, do I have people making fan art? Hell yeah. That raccoon that you did for, I don't remember what stream that was, but you made that raccoon. That that really resonated and made me feel really good. These leaves don't suck. I don't hate this leaf situation. I don't hate it. Definitely needs more dimensions and more layers, but I think we're onto something with just stamping and smearing. But yeah, you say you're gonna make some bad art. I think about what your definition of success will be for this art. Is it successful if it's photorealistic? Is it successful if it's finished? What's your success metric? For this piece, I think my success metric is finished and I don't hate the leaves. I think those will be what indicates success for me on this particular piece. Mostly finished though. I like the way this kind of is, because it's layers, so it's letting the water do some work. I really like when watercolor lets the water do some work. And like how it's smearing, it's blooming, it's highlighting itself. I like this one. Yeah, not hiding it is a decent metric, but also, yeah, really hard to achieve. I find that it's a really tough balance between I hate this and let me just, it's not the balance. It's the ugly stage. Like most paintings I do have an ugly stage where I look at it and I absolutely hate it and I wish I'd never been born. And ultimately I need to work through it. Can I move the dog bed? Oh, she loves this dog bed, but I feel bad that you can't see my cut though while I'm painting. So I'm gonna move the whole bed up. Ben, I'm gonna transplant you. You ready? Please stay here. Please stay. Stay there, baby. Maybe she will stay. Maybe she will not. But yeah, I find that I hate all of my art. And then sometimes I can work through the hatred and turn it into something that is passable. There is the cat slightly visible. She's the most important part of this whole thing. Right, let's add some dimension to these leaves. That was such a brilliant idea about Fen knowing how to paint leaves. wish I could actually get her little hand to make paw prints on the leaves. It'd be so cute. We don't need a darker color than this. I thought this would be dark enough for the shadows. It's not. I think I need a opposite color for the shadows, actually. Complementary color. I feel like this burnt sienna might be the way. Kind of red color. Maybe Venetian red. This one might be the one. I'm gonna go Venetian red. I think burnt sienna might be too dark. So let's start with the Venetian red. Little baby? What are you doing? You hate it, but you won't be making any more adjustments. Yes. Fuck it and good enough. You did it. You drew something. Now you have to send it to me, to my post office box with $6.50, and then I'll buy your next McDonald's. Just kidding. But fuck yeah. You drew something. I'm proud of you. And you also desperately want to see it. But you don't have to show me if you don't want to. But I absolutely want to see it. Good and enough are not words you would use. What about fuck it? What about that one? There's also one of my favorite phrases from the Army is good enough for government work. All right, I'm checking Discord right now. Ooh, I got a new messaggio. Oh, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I love this. What did you use? Just pen and black, just pencil? Just pencil? Yeah, good enough for government work is 100% true. Because like we would, I mean, we only ever had to do 70%. 70% was good enough. 70% was passing on anything army related. So we would, yeah, good enough for government work. Cause like, who's gonna check you? Uncle Sam? Not a real guy. Not a real uncle. What are they gonna do? Fire you? No, they want you to die in battle. I'm not gonna fire you. Just pencil. Yeah, hell yeah. I freaking love that. What made you want to do something so ambitious? Because you put a lot of detail into that. I love your butterfly, especially. Also, your face is pretty good. Like, give yourself more credit. That's what I'm saying when I'm talking about like alluding to the nose. I feel like we have a tendency as people trying to draw faces to like feel like the nose is like a separate entity to the face. When it's really just topography. I think you've done really well. Well, you better think about what you're gonna do next week too, because I mean, this is your Monday night now. Although I am jealous that you were playing a video game. I'm apparently a gamer now, and just haven't. I've hardly played in the last 2 weeks. Killing me, like to the point where instead of going to work first thing in the morning like I usually do, like I'll start work at 7. This morning I played some PlayStation until 8 o'clock, until it was actual work time. Like, you gotta give yourself credit for not giving yourself credit. You're the best at not giving yourself credit, so give yourself credit for that. How about that? How about that? Cash you outside. Can't believe she stayed in her little cat bed. Do what more? Play more video games? Is that what you're telling me to do? I already like have quit going to swords. Might as well just play video games forever. That might as well be the only time I ever see you is on video game land. Also, if you're on what can you play? What can you play that on? Cuz that's the real bitch of the thing. Is I have a PlayStation and a Mac. So if this is a PC game, can't wait. I think it's I've definitely seen it on PlayStation though, right? I'm not high. Right? Yeah, I've definitely seen it on PlayStation. So maybe I'll get it on there. And if you're on PlayStation, you should send me your thingy because I have like no friends on there at all. I have like 4 friends on PlayStation. And I'm always like, man, this would be a lot more fun with friends. I just have nobody. Leaves. They're not bad. They're a little straight across, so I'm gonna bring some foliage down here in some way so that it's not just a straight across thing. I kind of hate that a bit. A little one-dimensional. Looks a little like AI painted it. Mainly on PC. More and more games are letting you play with friends. Yeah. Yeah. I know that my main game, because literally motorsport is my entire personality now. I've been playing F1 with people across all of the platforms, which is really interesting, very fun. I'm also about this close to just getting a PC as well, because I for some reason I desperately want to try like some first person shooter games. I've been watching people play Escape from Tarkov lately, and that shit looks fun as hell. And you absolutely can't play that on a Mac. Not possible. I'm gonna let this dry for a minute, and I'm gonna put some glitter on this fucking naked fish. Why? Hell if I know. Just want to. I'm gonna put some glitter on this naked ass fish. Fuck ass fish. Swatchboard. New. I don't even know why I have these particular pens. The glitter cap gave me such hope that they would be interesting, and they suck. I hate them. This is a gold fish, so maybe I should use gold. No, that's lame. Blue and gold. That's weird. I literally have no idea why I printed out this image. This reverse mermaid. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, this will be a good idea. What's wrong with Overwatch 2? Let me know if you want to play Escape from Tarkov though, and I'll go out and buy a PlayStation or not a PlayStation. I'll go out and buy a PC like tomorrow. We'll play. It'll be wild. Electric Boogaloo. Overwatch 2. Electric Boogaloo. Was that Breakin'? Was that Breakin' 2? Is that what that's from? Yeah, Breakin' 2. Man, did you ever watch Breakin' and Breakin' 2? I don't know that I watched Breakin' 2. I definitely watched Breakin' though. You have to tell me in person about your Overwatch 2 opinions. Well, yeah, I'll have to like actually see you in person again sometime, I suppose. But I owe you McDonald's now, so maybe I have to come out on Wednesday. But also I'm not fighting or training in the cold. So maybe I just show up at McDonald's. Again, with the glitter cap, I have a lot of high hopes for this, and it's going to be terrible. Yep, that was shit. Utter shit. Well, that was fun. Little reverse mermaid glitterification. Something is probably dry. I can probably work on this one. This one's actually probably okay to go too, actually. But I want to fuck with this one for a minute. For a few minutes. Gonna take the tape off and see how it's going here. See if it rips off the paper. Ew, an inverse mermaid? Is that just like guts? Disgusting. Yeah, no, I don't fancy that. No. I don't want to work out in 20-degree rain. Absolutely don't want that. Actually, I love the white. The white border went really well, except for where I went absolutely crazy and really hit that other side of the tape. Should have taped the whole thing off. Yeah, just like a pile of guts, I guess. Yeah, so outdoor exercise though. Right now I'm using the excuse that like I literally ruptured a muscle 3 months ago. If I work out in the cold, I'm asking for trouble. So I don't even know if it's an excuse or if it's just a reason. All right. Here we go with the black sparkle. Blur made. Blur made. Yeah, it is a valid reason. But I feel like I'm making an excuse. But I have to, like, I don't know, I have to be honest and realistic. And, like, as much as I want to go back to this fencing class, it's not accessible. It's not an accessible location. And that just, I mean, that is what it is. Some places are not disabled friendly, and this is one of those. Thinking about inviting people to my house to just, like, that is real thick. I'm gonna have to mix that with water. Thinking about inviting people to my house to just, like, fight in my living room. Or, I don't know, something. Because I don't want to give up, but I also absolutely have to have climate control at the moment. Or else I'm gonna, like, rip up all my freaking muscles again. Walking when it's cold, like, walking, I think, would be okay. But the amount of, it's not just walking that this is, would be, while my legs are still in hardcore recovery mode, I feel like it's just a bad idea. Need my detail brush, please. Yeah. Yeah. Don't take out my wooden table sculpture. No, we'll fight. We'll move furniture. Yeah, it's a fight club. Whoa. This is wild. Why am I on the left side when I'm painting right-handed? Like, why do I do this? Doesn't make sense. Come on, work smarter. Absolute fool. Yeah, Liam, our fencing club meets outside. So this is not turning out the way I wanted it to. So it is a good thing that I have the initial drawing sketched out in a way that I can try again. think it's too dark. Actually, you know, I don't know. It actually looked better before I added the black to it. It looks really cool in this part. Now I've ruined it with the black. I think is this is where I go. Is this the ugly stage or is it just bad? I think it's just bad. I think this one's just a fail. No, I can't wash it out because it's India ink. So it is what it is. I wasn't super happy with the background anyway. So, do I finish it or do I give up? Leaning toward give up. Leaning toward this one is not worth the time to finish. So, I'm gonna experiment with something. It was a good idea, poor execution. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can cut this board. I feel like it's gonna be too thick to cut. But it's worth a shot, right? Oh yeah, it's way too thick. Close. It's almost. Oh, I can't cut it. Damn. Well, that's one question answered. This chopper will not cut through this board. Score. Yeah. That's all it did. just a score. I do like how adding the black onto the blue made it shiny in that corner. But yeah. The rest of it is fucked. It's bad. Now it's acceptable. Great. Back to this one. You can't see it, but that doesn't help. There it is. So I can just trace that onto another thing. I did 0 sketching for that, so it's like not a big deal at all. Start over. I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was gonna be a like learning opportunity. So I feel like I should Yeah. Finn's you. Yeah, Finn's used to my shit. Finn, have you seen some shit? Seen some things? Precious little baby. Best friend. Best friend. Best friend. Was this really the brush I was using? This is tiny. So freaking tiny. What colors for this base do I use? So I've got greens and browns. I feel like blue is obvious. Blues. Yeah, I've traumatized this cat pretty heavily. Right, Finn? I don't love you or properly care for you. So traumatized. Blue pastel. Blue pastel. Is blue too easy? I think I go with a wild, crazy color. Like brilliant red. Permanent carmine. Carmine? Carmine. How do you... I really like that trio. Swatch. Time to swatch. Oh. Yes. Yes. Oh. The red is a nice touch. Big yawn, Finn. Big yawn. Is it even a yawn if you don't say that it's a big yawn? Yeah, it's definitely not a big stretch unless you say big stretch. That's what I've heard. It's the word on the street. I think red was the right choice down here. I think because it's gonna set off my little dudes really well. My little dudes are gonna be a lot of detail, and I think the big bright red color will bring out the detail in the little dudes. That's the hope, anyway. Again, we need more layers. Everything needs more layers, always. Who's ready for bed? Ready for bed. But apparently I need to play video games before I go to bed. So 10 o'clock. I probably should wrap it up here soon. Probably should do that. I have a long day tomorrow of pretending like I'm good at my job. And then pretending like we have our holiday party tomorrow at work. That's all I can say is that. So, and then I have to go immediately from the holiday party to archery practice. So, it's gonna be a long day. No, and this one is not even, it's not even really a party. It's like we're doing like a cooking class together or something. It's and there's no plus ones. There's I'm like, this is fine to do a like work team building thing, but like don't call it a holiday party. Don't call it what it's not. That's how I feel about that. Like last year's holiday party was quite nice. We went to an interesting restaurant and people came from other offices. It was pretty decent. But this is like not a holiday party. This is a team building exercise that just happens to take place in December. Faculty retreats. You don't retreat anywhere. You just quadruple long faculty meetings in the same room. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just call it what it is. There's no reason to put a business suit on a team building exercise. But back to improv. Everything comes back to improv. I was saying that I keep wanting people to like corporations and like professional entities, they need to do improv classes. Need to do that. Should I paint my little people yet? I don't know if I want to paint my little people yet. Do this bucket. Got some gold. I also have this gold pen. Which gold do I want to try? Pen or ink? Pencil first, either way. I kind of want to try the dip pen. But this might be easier. But it's 10:15, so maybe I leave it. Maybe I leave it where it's at. And I come back next week. It's not bad. not hating is a success. There's too much shadow here. Actually, before I end anything, let's even out the shadows here. Yeah, I think it's looking all right. Definitely, I mean, if not hating it is my measure of success, then this is so far successful. Definitely painted things that I hate more. Like the one that I destroyed 5 seconds ago. Definitely hated that more than I hate this. Like, so concentrated now. Kind of looking at the details on these little humanoids. All right, Blake, thanks for hanging out. I hope to see you soon and buy you some food. You better come back, though, and draw some more. I'm about to run myself. Is 10:30 is approaching quickly. I'm not one of these full-time streamers that's like, oh, I'll stay up until 2 a.m. streaming. I don't have that kind of stamina. So perhaps I leave it here for now. Or I try something crazy. I have these colorless blender markers. What happens if I have these around? Will they dry into highlights? I don't know. I kind of got a feeling that you're not going to be able to tell anything from it. I think it has no effect. Cool. For science. So really, all that's left here is figuring out who these two guys are. How do I make them exist in this world? Maybe some more layers up here. The brown that I added in is a little overpowering. And then I'm going to put gold designs on this red thing and maybe do another layer of red as well. Actually, maybe the gold designs will mean that I don't have to add any more red because the gold will run in and do its thing. But yeah, not displeased here. Not displeased at all. But I've been on here for 3 hours. So I should. The urge to dump this onto this painting is very strong. Why did I want to just... I should do a impulsive thought painting. I should do that sometime. But for now, I'm going to try to remember that I'm placing it here. Placing it here. So I don't have to frantically look for it next Monday. And also, in case I don't use these before next Monday, I'm gonna keep my swatches together so I don't have to redetermine what colors I wanted to use. Swatched. And now I can put these back where they belong instead of letting them live in here and cluttering everything up. Such clutter. Impulsive thoughts and bonsai trees aren't a combination you'd thought of before. You know, I hadn't either, but I suddenly very about it. What would that bonsai tree look like? The one where you just chop it wherever you feel like chopping it based on nothing other than wild abandon. What would happen? All right, I'm also going to re-attempt that other painting. But now I have a better understanding that I don't want it to be black in the foreground. I want it to be just kind of muted in the foreground. And then just like, so I'll do watered down ink everywhere. And then around the outline, I will do non-watered ink so that it's just more saturated, I guess. But for now, I think I will sleep. I should my brushes and then sleep. I'll clean my brushes and then I'm going to bed. But you don't need to watch me clean my brushes, so I'm gonna /stream and carrot. The plan is to do a sonnet on Thursday. Hopefully I can actually do that this time. Last Thursday I just didn't want to. So I just didn't do it. Why isn't my Zoom working on this camera? What? Zoom. Why no funciona? Whatever. I'm trying to zoom in on the cat. Oh, it did work. Oh, here we go. And so sleepy and heavy, cute. Say good night, Finn. Yeah, I think I'm on Shakespeare's Sonnet 8, maybe? 7 or 8. So I'm gonna read and translate Sonnet 8. Good night. Night, night, Kitin. Night, night, Finn. Ugh, its little curled up foot. I'm so mean. I disturbed it while it was sleeping.